Hey, what's going on, friends and family? My name's Skylent, and today I wanted to give you my pre-impressions of a brand new PvE-focused cooperative survival game named Icarus. Icarus is actually from the developer of DayZ, apparently. So we got some big names in here, some people that maybe know something a little bit about the survival genre. At least we have definitely one of the, I guess, grandfathers of it. But this genre has moved so quickly, so fast. We've gotten so many games that, and, DayZ got left in the past, though actually now it's doing pretty decently. How will Icarus actually fare? And I have a feeling it's going to do pretty well. That's why I'm going to be even talking about it. If you guys don't know, things that I show on this channel are things that I am passionate about. And I love co-op specific survival games. I think that they create a really emergent sandboxes for players to play in. And you just can do so much. There's so much creativity, so many ways to solve the puzzles of the survival or conquering the wilderness or the monsters inside of them. That it just makes for really good hoops and hollers, whenever you're playing with your friends. That's pretty much it. Great games to play with your friends, and I think Icarus is going to be that, which is why I mentioned it in my last list video of new co-op survival games. So Icarus is unique, though, for a couple of different reasons, and we're going to run through it. But just so you guys know the details, this is going to be on PC. You can actually get it on Steam. There's going to be a beta that you get access to if you purchase it. It's going to be about $27, $30, depending on the sale and the discount when it releases. And it's going to be coming November 20th. So approximately in 8 weeks from right now, this game is coming out. So, open world survival crafting, online co-op, PvE. That's kind of a really good recipe for probably good reviews, probably going to be a lot of fun. Based on literally like any other game like The Forest or Valheim or even Ark actually, just PvE focused survival games tend to be favorable and tend to do exceedingly well when it comes to what the community wants. I don't know, there's just maybe often too much toxicity with this genre in general when it comes to PvP, but Icarus is going to be PvE focused with 8 players co-op, or you can play solo. So that's the general gist, but let's go ahead and look at the feature list. Okay, but while I was all saying that, you did see the trailer playing in the background. You can basically tell that this is going to be somewhat actually of a generic survival game, and normally I would not mention that except for the pedigree coming to this game, as well as there's a unique twist. That being that it is actually going to be session based. This is going to be similar to something like Deep Rock Galactic actually. So if you were to take The Forest and Deep Rock Galactic, I think you kind of get Icarus actually. So Deep Rock Galactic, basically you go into a procedurally generated world, and then there's aliens and stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's a looter shooter. You go get the loot, and then you have to escape back with it. Icarus is going to be somewhat similar. So you are going to have a main base, and I think you can have, like, sort of like a fortress or whatever. There's going to be a generic map, and maybe a space station. Not exactly sure how that gameplay loop is going to play out. But you do have basically a focus on going out into different biomes. This would be almost like if you could hop servers in something like 7 Days to Die or different maps in DayZ. Except it's just built into the game, and you get those resources when you jump into the different biomes, which you just launch yourself in to. So it's going to be like a tundra, it's going to be like a forest, it's going to be like a desert. You're going to be going all around the world, basically different maps, which, by the way, are handcrafted maps, which if you play 7 Days to Die, you love. And then you are going to try to get back in time. So you have a time limit, which will be like days or maybe a week or something, and you have to go survive, start from scratch, build over again. And this is actually a big allure to survival games. Some people think it's about just, playing one through, which is fine. You can do that. Vanilla Minecraft, I just did that. Just play once through. But also a lot of the fun of these games, like Don't Starve, or maybe The Forest, is like dying and restarting, replaying, trying out different things. Of course, playing different maps and redoing stuff. I think replayability, and especially since this genre came out around the time of roguelites, yeah, it makes sense that Icarus now is going to kind of focus on that as well. In fact, a lot of survival games that are up and coming focus on replaying, either like world wipes or something like that. There's time limits of some kind. Replay is definitely a big factor. So Icarus is, you go into a biome, and then you gotta survive for like a week or whatever. You get your resources. You try to get, there's different missions, but I guess immediately it's going to be this thing called exotics, which is, I guess, this sort of rare material. Get these rare materials, bring them back to your base, and survive, and then of course you can grow your home base or whatever from that as well. So that's pretty much the gimmick there. And of course, different biomes, different environments. But when you actually go in, of course, it still does look somewhat generic. What are the little minute details that make it actually special? Right. So really, that's kind of it to make fun of it. it is minute details, it seems. Like how you mine, how it feels, the graphics, basically if you played The Forest, you know what I'm talking about. How the trees move with the wind. All those little tiny little details actually do make for a better experience, even though I think at first glance you could look at a game like The Forest and be like, okay, it's Minecraft, right? Like, oh, little zombies come out at night and then you gotta, punch trees or whatever. You could, but then if you played The Forest, it's not Minecraft. It's not at all. So it's kind of going to be like that, and I do expect a high degree of polish, but I think a lot of people are also expecting it to be very glitchy. I'm gonna go ahead and err on, no, I think it's probably gonna be a well-founded game. I think it's probably gonna be a AAA quality survival game, and I'm really excited for that. But one thing that I am worried about with the PvE, because I did say it's PvE focused, is the type of monsters that we see. There is an alienness to this, so I don't know if I made it clear, if it's clear from the gameplay, but this is an alien planet that's been terraformed to look like Earth. So it's going to be, seemingly what I can tell, North American based or maybe New Zealand style, environments, and maybe that's going to change. Maybe the desert will be more like African, stuff like that. Who knows? Maybe there'll be jungles. That'd be pretty cool. I actually do expect that. But in the end, it seems like we're going to mostly have generally kind of like bears and deers and wolves. But there is going to be some alien twists. So maybe as we play further and deeper, we're going to get not just generic survival stuff, but we're also going to have like alien, maybe things that are like The Thing, mutated style animals and monsters. I don't know if it's going to get as fantasy as dragons, but like I can actually hope that there will be monsters, something monstrous. And, it is an 8-player game. I am expecting that sort of Valheim, literal dragons, giants, and, blob monsters, something like that to be really worth, like, raiding would be really cool. However, that is not exactly shown at the moment, so it seems like it's really going to focus more on the down-to-earth, boots on the ground, funny enough for a sci-fi game, survival situation. 8 players, is it even worth it? Probably going to be a fun 2-player game, but it is going to be mostly focused on the mundane, kind of the foresty survival experience, which I think some people actually really like, a lot, actually, so we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, basically, survival. That's a big component to it. Weather. Weather is the thing that they probably talk about the most, which is kind of exciting, which is something that I did like in The Forest and a few other survival games, but weather in this game is going to be intense. Like, you will get frostbite, forests will catch on fire. I'm assuming, if we have a coastal zone, there's going to be hurricanes and, blizzards, and I don't know, that would be freaking awesome if there was stuff like avalanches and earthquakes, but weather and, all of that sort of experience is going to be the main driving force of survival, I think. It's not going to be dragons or dinosaurs or zombies, maybe some wolves, maybe some bears, sure, but it does seem like it's really against nature, the environment itself, which probably will be very fun since the whole map is handcrafted. I would actually love it if we had sort of like a Yellowstone sort of experience where most of the water is drinkable and fresh, but what if certain waters were acidic and if you fall into them, you'll die? I actually have that in Fallout 76. I really appreciate that, so that'd be pretty cool. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, basically, the game is going to be focused on exploration, which is why the maps are handcrafted. And if you played 7 Days to Die, then you know that exploration is so fun when something is truly handcrafted. Now, there can be some really fun environments that spawn from Minecraft. Absolutely, Minecraft is Minecraft, though. But when it comes to survival games, I really appreciate when they go one step further, which again, 7 Days to Die does, and actually has sort of like environmental traps or puzzles or riddles or, things like ambushes. Maybe there's certain caves where you'll be ambushed. Or potentially, wolves could be hiding in dens and things like that, and that could be hand-placed, hand-picked, and, it could be in a valley with only one way out, and you have to run through the wolves, basically, to survive, or fight them all. That would be really awesome, and if they can do that, then a lot of the lament of, oh, there's no dragons, no dinosaurs, anything like that, will be completely subsided because it'll just be a good survival experience. Of course, we have to see the game when it actually comes out. It's possible, and I do think that from the production value that I'm seeing from this game and what the developers have talked about, that is going to actually be the case. We'll see in the end, though. So there's going to be crafting and stuff like that. This is something that a lot of comments make fun of, where it's like we travel across the universe or whatever. We travel across the galaxy, go to a new planet, we terraform this planet, But when we jump down into new biomes, we have to start all over. Not really sure what the lore explanation is on that, but there is going to be talent trees. There is going to be, you know, crafting trees and stuff like that. We are going to be, generic. Yeah, basically, you get it, right? So, otherwise, you're going to land down, you're going to level up, you're going to do your talents and everything. You're going to try to do the best you can. Maybe if you have a bunch of people, you all have different roles. Somebody's going to be like somebody who's the hunter, somebody's going to be the gatherer, crafter, who knows. But basically, you guys are going to do the do, trying to get resources. You mine it up, rock and stone, brother, and then you have to escape in time. Limited time. Yeah, so the orbital space station waits for no one, says it on Steam. If you fail to return to your dropship in time, there is no rescue. That's it. Your character's progress and tech is going to be lost. That's how this game is survival, if it wasn't clear enough. This is a session-based game, and I guess it's kind of almost like Hunt Showdown, actually, where you go into a match, and if your character doesn't make it out, that character is dead. So yeah, now there's different sessions that have a range of time, actually, so it can last from hours to days, or sometimes even weeks, which is pretty cool. And you can also build a permanent outpost as well. So every drop has a clear goal. Those goals can actually change, though. Apparently right now, though, again, it is mostly focused on mining rare resources. But we'll see. Maybe one will be like, okay, there's this like crazy monster, we gotta go kill it. That'd be pretty neat. I love hunting monsters, okay? I know it's funny for a vegan to say that, but yeah, I like it. But yeah, your character is everything, okay? You like your character, how you build, you know, your character, your traits and everything, you carrying those over, that is everything. Almost kind of reminds me of Valheim, how you can carry over armor and gear and stuff between different servers. I think that's pretty cool, but this one is like that character can die forever, so watch out. But otherwise, when you actually get back to your outpost is a permanent map. There's no time limit, there's limited dangers, you know, it's really just kind of a chill mode. This is where you kind of just build things up. It's ideal for building. This is kind of how you prove what you've done. It's basically like a home base in any survival game, where, you normally build it on the top of a mountain or an island, or, you build it in a tower with a moat, like in Valheim. Like, it's easy mode, right? So yeah, your outpost is easy mode. That's just where you have, all your trophies and everything. So yay, yeah. But yeah, just keep in mind though that basically you have your outpost, you're gonna build that up. That's like your home base. You go out, you explore into different biomes, and different instanced missions and modes, kind of like Deep Rock Galactic. You try to survive, and the riskier stuff you'll get rewarded better. You'll be able to level up faster and do cooler things, specialize better. But your character could die, and that's pretty much the gameplay loop, with apparently sort of almost a lowish sci-fi slash, I'm not gonna say fantasy, but I guess you could say low sci-fi, soft sci-fi. You're still gonna be shooting arrows and like mining with stone picks for some reason, at least at the beginning. And it's gonna be the survival situation where you are just playing with your friends that has like all these little nuanced and sort of authored mechanics with the map, right? So you do have dynamic weather events. You are going to have animals with entire life cycles. There is going to be a lot of organic gameplay here to be had. Wolves will be hunting deer, regardless if you're around or not. Really interesting stuff there, but in the end, it is still that sort of very dirty, very wet, survival experience where it is just nature, and mostly as we kind of know it in the real world. And again, those kind of games have done very well. If it's winter-based, if it's forest-based, or what have you. If it's mining, there's actually not really too many mining ones. Minecraft kind of did that, right? Anyways, but if it is, a nature PvE-focused game, kind of down to earth, then those tend to be incredibly well received. Subnautica underwater, even if they can become a little bit more fantastic, PvE focused with actual survival elements are big. So this game, with how you even mine and the attention to detail with the way the game feels as you are, shooting your arrows even, just really basic stuff. All that attention to detail of how it feels is something that's a little different and lacking from mostly survival games, which focus on macro gameplay. Like Valheim is kind of really goofy, actually, obviously Minecraft, and even going back maybe to DayZ, we see that there was always that attention to detail to really small movements and really small micro mechanics that the genre kind of escaped from, because this genre tends to be glitchy in itself. It tends to be awkward, it tends to be goofy. So it was really hard for DayZ to get up and running, which it finally did. But I think this game now is going to have a more, measured approach to that, kind of meeting in the middle, where it's going to have that attention to detail, but still is going to be something that you can just jump into. It is going to something that feels really good and something that feels a little bit different and refreshing for the genre, while still at the same time, yeah, you know what it is. It's just it's a survival game with a weird, gimmicky premise of like people in spacesuits just going around to different biomes, whatever. But I think in the end, all these soft or small mechanics, these nuances, all will come together to make a game that's actually really refreshing. And I'm really basing that off of, once again, I'll say the name, 7 Days to Die, which by all accounts is a completely fucking generic survival zombie game. And yet, if you actually have played it, you know what I'm talking about. It is just good. Those all little mechanics kind of make a bigger picture and make it for much more fun, especially when you tie in playing with your friends. Abso-freaking-lutely. So, am I excited for Icarus? Yeah, that's why I'm putting it on the channel, but also at the same time, yeah, we should look at it with a more critical eye. Definitely, we should be a little bit cynical, especially, maybe especially because it's coming from developers of DayZ, but at the same time, I don't know. I think I'm gonna say, like, yeah, it's worth looking into. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's pretty much it. I can only repeat the trailer so many times and talk over it. That's what the game is. That's why I'm excited for it. Are you? Let me know. And if there's any other co-op survival games that I've missed from my previous list video, or, you know, just shouting out, please tell me. Like, I just want to play with you guys. I want to play games with you. It'll be awesome. It'll be fun. Maybe I should even start a hardcore Minecraft server. I don't know. Should we do stuff like that? Talk about it. Maybe we'll do an event where we all play Don't Starve for a weekend. Let me know in the comments below. But much love, friends and family. Remember to like, subscribe, and keep the hype alive. And I'll see you again next time.